All right, peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum, shalom. Welcome everyone to the B1 program. We have with us today our great sister, Sister Cassie. Peace and blessings, Sister Cassie. How you doing?
I am good, my brother. I am good. Glad to
All
be
right.
here.
Yes, ma'am. So it's going to be just you and I today. Doc is in Ohio visiting family, and brother Isaiah is out with his family doing family stuff. So it's just going to be me and you
All
today.
right, hey. All right, we can roll with it.
All right. We want to welcome Deacon of Reality. Peace and blessings, big bro. We're glad that you're here with us. Our topic today is the justification for separation. Peace and blessings, Twin Pyramid. We're glad that you're here with us today as well. All right. So, as again, I said, the topic today is the justification for separation. And we want to talk about this because I received the email saying that, we should rethink separation because that's an old idea that will never work for Black people in America. It will never work for Black people, period, because we're too dependent upon white folks, and that the things that we complain about, separation is not the answer to it. So I decided to say, well, we need to do a program showing the justification for separation. He talked about in the email that they tried separation, but it wasn't separation, that was actually segregation. And there's a difference between separation and segregation. And we're going to get into that as well. But Sister Cassie, what's your thoughts on separation? What are your thoughts on the justification for separation?
Hey, you know how I feel about that. I'm always talking about separation because I think that is the only way. And every time you talk about Black folk being free, they got a reason why we can't do it. Hey, have you tried it? We already was. Our ancestors did it before, and they knew why. And they did it because they knew these devils would never get it together. And they did us a favor. And what did we do? We slapped them in the face like we always do. And we thought we knew better than them when they had came from slavery. And they told us, them devils ain't gonna never get it. Y'all, here, I'm gonna put you over here. I'm gonna give you some land. I'm gonna give you a hospital. They get schools, buses. We had everything. All we had to do was put our money behind it, and our stuff would have been so much better than theirs because we built this, remember. So you mean to tell me we didn't get that? Sorry, we can't do it again? Give me a break. Black folk, let me tell y'all something. They have gotten us twisted. They got us so twisted that we don't even think we can do it, but I know we can because we've done it before. Those old habits, they die hard. And in some of us, they didn't die at all because I've always wanted to be separate. I've always talked about it, and I'm going to still talk about it. I don't care what. I'm going to always talk about it because I believe that the justifications is me watching police officers gun down our 6-year-olds or gun down our unarmed babies. And then I'm seeing where the teachers now, the students, the teachers attacking our Black students that's in these all white schools. So what is a justification? What is it needs to happen next? When are we going to get tired and say, you know what? I've had enough of this. This is what we're going to do. When are we going to get tired? I mean, I went to the store today and I seen it was in a, it's in a poor area. Okay. But I still went just checking things out. I've seen so many police at this store, but it's like that all the time. You got a heavy police presence, like white folk don't steal. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got none at Kroger's. You don't have none at Harris Teeter, like white folk don't steal. Give me a break. But they got you so brainwashed that you think that every time they come in our neighborhood, we're supposed to die. That's the sad part about it. So you mean to tell me you don't see that as a justification to separate? Every time they use their laws against you, you still not tired? What's it going to take? They killing people. Say, well, they're going to kill you. Well, hello, they're killing you anyway. So what's it going to take? I think that's the only way. Separation from the top to the bottom. Our own police department, government, schools, banks, everything. Let them have theirs. I already told you, Cassie Land, honey, is waiting. So y'all get ready. Let me know. I got you. I'm just saying. Go ahead. I rest my mic. It's gonna be a show tonight, boy. You know, you got me go fired up talking about that separation. That is all I think. I swear, my husband said, you know what? Look, it's time. I'm so sick of them. You driving on the street and they toxic. Everything about them is toxic against you. And God is revealing every system that they've set up against us. The hair, now you got some kind of chemical in weave, right? Who put the kind of chemical get there? Now you can't even wear your, but I'm glad because maybe black women get away from that weave anyway. But everything that we think is for just us, the relaxer, something that's going to relate to cancer, where did it come from? Who put that in your relaxer? Where's the relaxers being made from? We have to think about this. See, God is showing you every part, the shots, vaccines. I mean, I'm going to say it, but I'm just saying every part of the medical field is against black women, black folk, period. So what do you mean? Why do we need any more justification? They've given us reason enough.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking those people just scared to move. That's what that is. That person just a chicken. I'm just saying, little punk, little, come on. So you're scared. You're scared. So you're scared. That's all I'm going to say. He's just scared. Whoever gave you that email, the chicken.
Exactly. When we stop and think about it, as you said, our ancestors wanted separation. A lot of people think, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people think, but there are those that think that when we're applying information from 1865, when we were free from slavery, and they asked, the blacks, what y'all niggas want to do? And they said, well, we want to separate from you, because we don't believe y'all done changed. Some people say that we're applying an old lens because that was said in 1865. We're in 2023 going into 2024, and the realities have changed. You have black and white relationships. They show on TV now, black and white couples. Even on the TV show, what is it called? Married at First Sight. They married a white man and a black woman. So the thought or the understanding on race has changed. It's just that, they say that we're holding on to the past. What do you say about that, Sister Cassie?
You know what? I'm so sick of these coons. And I know it's a coon that said it because he probably dating a white woman or she probably got a white husband. I'm just saying. That's the only time you hear people really talking nonsense like that is when they're in that arena. Okay, that's all. They got friends. Oh, Becky's my best friend. Or, I'm married to Brian. All that crazy nonsense. But God told us, for one, they'll have a perpetual hatred for you. For two, he told you, Deuteronomy, not to marry them, nor give your children over to them. Number three, he told you you're going to know them by their fruits. And number four, the TV can tell you whatever. I'm looking at our history, and I'm looking at every day what I see around me. And what I see around me is they murdering, they killing every chance they get. Elijah coming, they gave that boy, the paramedics, the police officer told him to do it. The paramedic was a dummy to do it. He got convicted. The police officer, one of the police officers got convicted, but the other one who told him to do it didn't. Okay, but you was the dummy to get his boy a horse tranquilizer. That's what ketamine is. It's a horse tranquilizer. So that means they've been doing this all the time and been getting away with it. You understand what I'm saying? So for people to sit up there and say things have changed, tell me, how have things changed? I'm still seeing the same dynamics that I saw in 1865. The police, slave catchers, who are police today, I'm still seeing the same effects. They still killing your black behinds in the streets. So what and how and where is my question to the person that emailed you? Give me who, what, when, and where. Don't just tell me because what you see on television, okay? Television gonna tell you a lie and you dumb enough to believe it. So now you thinking, oh, we cool. They friends. God told you they're not. He called them serpent people. You're calling them friends. You're marrying them. You're ending up dead when you do. You're ending up in jail. What's the boy's name that just was convicted when they saw his woman chasing him down? He was running. He's running for his life and he gets convicted. What the hell has changed. This boy is trying not to hit her. Okay. Now I'm not saying he wasn't, there was some toxicity too. Okay. But if you see a man, he literally running from this woman, what's he running from?
Exactly.
He running to save his life because he know if I hit this woman, I'm going to jail. And he ran so that he wouldn't go to jail. But guess what? He ended up going to jail, so he should have popped. He should have beat the hell out of her. He should have just went hog wild. And I'm not condoning violence. I'm condoning justice. When you got somebody running after you and running you down, you running for your life, and then you still go to jail. Make it make sense. But you got somebody telling me that, oh, we're thinking with an old mindset. No, sweetheart, I'm looking. My eyes are clear. I got glasses. I see clearly now. What's that song? I can see clearly now.
The rain is gone.
I can see clearly now. What's still going on? It has not stopped. But you want to convince me because you want to have some white friends. You want to have access to free ding-a-ling white access. Okay, any part and every part. But you want me to convince me that my brother down in the street has stopped. My baby's being abused at their schools. The young lady just got her nose broken by a Neanderthal thug, right? One of their children. But you want me to believe that things have changed. Tell me what has changed. Don't just tell me it's changed. Give me some evidence. Because from my eyes and a whole lot of our eyes, things have never changed. And they will never change because God said they won't. Because he didn't tell you to come together with them. And when you go against him, most high, what you going to get? You're going to get those results of you being murdered in your sleep. Murdered. Somebody, you sitting at home eating a bowl of ice cream, you get murdered. Okay? Things like that are going to continue to happen because you're disobedient. You want to tell God that you know better than him when he told you they're going to have a perpetual, continuously a hatred for you. It'll never change. So now you want to tell him he lying. Okay, go ahead. I rest my mic.
And, we want to welcome Jason Cole to the program. Peace and blessings, brother Jason. Welcome. And Jason says that I agree. Separation is the only solution for Black people because we'll never have peace with white people. We need to separate in order to be happy and to be ourselves.
I totally agree.
And that
God,
to be able to be ourselves
and have peace.
That is just,
man, that sounds like heaven.
Exactly.
I mean, come on. Every time we turn around, it's toxicity from them. I totally agree with Jason. I totally agree. So why is it that we're facing what we're facing? We're looking at death all around us, and we're still okay with being around them. It's almost like the worse they treat you, the more you fight to hang on to them devils. No, I'm not. No, you got to prove yourself somehow. Jason, I totally agree. Because I'm ready for some peace. I was talking to my husband about it today. I said, God, honey, I'm so tired. I said, every time you look around, we driving, right? And you see this car just acting a fool. I said, I guarantee you they're white. Every part is toxic. Is them involved. And guess who it was? A white man. I was so sick. I'm so sick of looking at the nurses. I don't know what to do. I'm so sick of them every time. I just look at them with a frown. I hate them. I know we ain't supposed to hate, but I'm so sick of their ass. I don't know what to do. I'm like, is there any part of this world we can go where we ain't gonna see one of them? Because I'm so tired of looking at them. I need my own island at this point. So anybody want to go in on the island? I'm taking donations. And I guarantee you ain't none of their asses coming on my island. I guarantee you I never see another one of them. I swear I won't. I don't even want to trade with them. I don't have nothing to do with them. I don't want nothing from them. I'll rest my mic.
Exactly. And you talked about the Most High God saying that, we should have never integrated in with them. And I think that one problem that we have, okay, we're in the quote unquote Christmas season. And they're supposed to be, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, where December 25th was not Jesus' birthday. It's actually the birth date of Nimrod and dealing with paganism. But
we got enough to do research on that, brother.
Exactly. You
And
how
people
you
tell
don't.
you, and you still be, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. Oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
Mhm,
We don't want to
mhm,
hear nothing. We
mhm,
learning every day, and you should be learning, Black family, what these
mhm,
holidays are standing for, and it's nothing good.
mhm, mhm,
Nothing that they have created for us means us any good.
mhm,
Nothing. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry. I don't mean to
mhm.
interrupt you.
And so the part of their colonialization that they had to give us was their false religion, their false ways, their false deities, and it get it to us so much. The question that I have, Sister Cassie, is how, when we separate, how would you deal with this white man's Christianity that's going to come within the Black people that even wants to separate, but that religion that they
No,
believe
sir.
in so toughly?
No, sir.
How would you
We're
deal
going
with
to have
that?
our own schools. We would have our own schools, and we would teach them truth. We would teach them our culture, our history, the truth of who we really are, period. We have to understand that. You're not bringing that Christian, nothing Christians coming over here. We don't need that. That's been the worst enemy besides integrating Christianity for Black people. And you would look at it, just look at it. Let's dig deep into that. You have a church who allows people into their pulpit every 4 years who believes in transgender, homosexuality, and same sex, right?
Mhm,
What does that have to do with Christianity for them to come to your pulpits and you allow them, Pastor Pork Chop, into your pulpit to convince
mhm,
your people that they're better than the next demon candidate? When
mhm,
they both believe the same thing. One is believing
mhm,
hatred for Black folk, okay? And then you got one that's believing in homosexuality. But that pork chop pastor will allow those demons to come into their pulpits and convince. And Black folk believe pork chop pastor because he wouldn't do us no harm. But how many times over the history has pork chop pastor done wrong to Black people, like
exactly.
abortion? You feel me?
Mhm,
Like
exactly.
now they're telling you it's okay to let immigrants in. Are you crazy? Are you out of your damn mind? But you still dumb enough to believe this man who is supposed to be hearing from God, but
Mhm,
that person is supposed to be hearing from God tells
mhm,
you to forgive,
mhm.
but they not forgiving. They pastors ain't teaching the same thing. We're reading the same Bible, right? Come on now. But they pastors not teaching them to forgive. The one pastor I kind of looked up to was said, "Don't ask me to marry y'all." And that's exactly what, and everybody, all Black folks say, "Oh, he being racist." Like, dummy. He's truthful because Deuteronomy 7 tells you not to mix and mingle. That's,
Mhm,
he was biblically right. He might have said it wrong, but I believe him. I agree with him. I said,
exactly.
I'm with you. I'm Black. I couldn't wait to get on there. I'm with you. On
Mhm.
that, I wouldn't dare want your son to marry my daughter. That's what I said. I wouldn't dare want your demon son to marry my daughter, Joe Biden.
Mhm,
I'm glad you was dumb enough to keep your child, your drug addicted, pedophilia
mhm,
son to yourself. I was glad
mhm,
he did me a favor. I'm just saying.
mhm.
But
Exactly.
why would I allow Christianity that has done so much hurt and harm to Black people? We won't even get up and fight right now because God said forgive. They can
Yes.
literally shoot your son in the head in the middle of the street and leave him laying there for 24 hours. And you'll hear mom say, I forgive. I'm not forgive. You can
Mhm,
literally have your parents in a church, Dylan Roof, who came in there and was sitting there with a whole shotgun. Didn't even
mhm,
affect him. That demon didn't even run out of there. That's how much power we don't have in the church. That's showing
mhm.
you how powerless it is. That's Satan's home. He felt comfortable up in there, didn't he? That
Yep.
demon
Very
felt so
comfortable.
comfortable. He felt like he was at home. Yeah, that's Satan's kingdom, y'all. What you think the
Mhm,
Pentacles stand for? Y'all better do some religion, some homework on that Christianity. What you
mhm,
think it meant? Why you think that demon, that devil could sit there so comfortable if it was as
mhm,
powerful as you say it is? He should have been ran up out of there, huh? Come on,
mhm.
y'all. He
That's
sat
right.
there and killed 9 folk. And
Mhm.
and the family members. I'm gonna tell you what. My daughters better not get up there talking about I forgive nothing else. I'm coming back. And I'm gonna scare the hell out of them. You better not. You better rise up. You better rise up globally. If something happens to Cassie, Brother Maurice, you want to know. You stand up there. That ain't what. That's not how she felt. That's not how she feel. She is not forgiving them devils for doing nothing to her children. Seriously,
Exactly.
enough is enough. I'm not forgiving nothing. I'm gonna forgive after I get some revenge. I'm gonna forgive after I can do the same, do unto you, do unto others. Because that's what the Most High said, right? Let's not forget those scriptures. He said, "Do unto others," right? He said, "They pluck out your eye, you pluck theirs out." Ain't that what he said?
That's right.
So what part of the Bible we using? We're gonna use one part but not the other. I don't. You can keep that Christianity. I grew up in it, and even then I was like, "What's wrong with this? There's something wrong with this." I asked so much. There's something wrong with this. It's not adding up because they don't do what we do. They don't forgive nobody. I ain't heard one of them yet say I forgive a murderer who killed their children. Have you? I haven't seen one Botham Jean's brother hug not one black person that killed their little baby or killed their brother. Have you?
Nope.
I haven't seen one judge get down off the Pope, whatever she's sitting up though, and come down and hug a black man for killing his white daughter. Have you? Oh, okay. I'm just wondering.
Nope, not at all.
No, I don't need. You can keep that Christianity crap.
And I want to take this time to welcome Brother Willie Rivers to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother Willie. And Brother Willie says, Sister Cassie, he'll be on that island with you to be heaven on earth.
Hey, you better believe that.
And I also want to welcome Mayat to the program. Peace and blessings, Mayat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And according to them, the Pope, who is the quote unquote head of Christendom, this devil looking cracker, I don't know how in the hell, he's supposed to be, standing in the place of Jesus Christ on earth. Let's look at this cracker. Now, one of these crackers, this one that we're about to show you, this one actually quit. This one actually quit. It said, I won't be the Pope no more.
But did you see this one where we're talking about that he agreed with homosexuality, same sex this weekend?
Yeah, we're going to get to that one next.
Oh, my God.
We're going to get to that one next.
Whew.
Now, this the cracker who, like I said, he quit. He said, I quit. I'm tired of ruling Christendom. But, I mean, this devil don't have no life in him. He don't have, I'm quite sure if a child saw him coming down the street, they'll turn and run away. It's just devil written all over this cracker. It's no way. It's just no way. It's foolishness. Total foolishness that he's supposed to be, God's man on earth. And black people really sit back and accept that's God's man on earth.
Don't even understand what the Catholic Church stands for. All that pedophilia, that's part of their religion, people. You need to do some research on that Catholic Church. Service, wood and stone, it's in the Bible. It talks about that. It talks about it. Y'all can sit there that crazy if you want to. Why you think they're getting away with molesting them boys? Because that's part of their religion. Y'all better stop today. This is a good subject for me, honey. Y'all gonna wake up today.
And we want to welcome Big Brother Roy. Peace and blessings, Big Bro. Glad that you're here with us. And so, and I don't know how Christian pastors, would be able to sit back. I can't even vote for no white man to be my leader. Ain't no way in the world. I can't even vote for you. There's no way in the world I'm going to let this devil be my quote unquote spiritual head. It just doesn't make sense. And then to go as far to say, I quit. God called you, but I quit. And, as you said, you got the other one who now has endorsed same-sex marriages. It's like, really? There's no stopping you. There's no level of demonicity that you will not embrace. that you will not just love to be in. And so I believe very, very deeply that, this white man's religion of Christianity, it is a death knell in the minds of Black people. And we have to come out of that, because that's just not for us. It's really not for us. Even if you look at what Jesus actually taught and what is actually being taught in the church today, that's two different things. Totally two different things. But because your master say this is what you're going to be and this is what you're going to study, then you'll go ahead and do it. And the problem is, you will shoot another Black person or beat another Black person any minute without a second thought. But let you somebody tell, well, we're gonna go out and we're gonna drive by and shoot. But you ain't drive by and shooting in no white neighborhood. You ain't drive by shooting no white folks. No, you scared to shoot them. You scared to rob them. Why? Because in your mind, you're saying this is God's people. And see, while you're looking at them as God's people and denying the divinity that is in yourself, that's in our people, you look at us and you'll rob us or kill us with the quickness, because you done punctified and bow down to the devil. And this is what we got to make sure that we understand, as Brother Roy says, that the devil is parading himself around as our friend. As our friend. Look at these crackers, they will act like they're your friend, and you will confuse them being fake friendly and say, this is my friend. He's cool with this, or I'm cool with that. You'll find yourself dead, just like Sister Cassie, the Black girl, the grown woman who went to the cracker's house to have a sleepover and come up dead. And they like, I don't know what happened.
Nobody went to jail. Ooh, she just, nobody. No, I don't know what happened. Nobody went to jail. Out of blue.
And you would think, as a grown woman,
you would have known better.
Yeah. You know better than that.
But that is what mixing and mingling has done to us. It has blinded us and got us convinced that they are your friends. Got you convinced that those are your saviors. Got you convinced. And Black folks so dumb. We sit up there and vote for them devils every 4 years. When God told you, remember the scripture when he talked about pick a king, them or me? And what do? We pick them every time. He said, okay, stay your asses at the bottom.
Yep.
And until we get fed up and get our head straight, he said, only person supposed to be over you is this right here. Them people ain't got no business being over you. B1's supposed to be over you. Brother Maurice supposed to be over you. That's the only people supposed to be over us, is people that look like us, not just looking like us, but have a heart for us and gonna make changes for us.
Exactly. Now I want to look at this next cracker. We're going to look at Kenneth Copeland. Now he's one of these mega pastors, and first I thought that Black people, knew that he was a fraud and all this bullshit. But no, they embraced that cracker like he God himself.
Ooh, they love him, honey.
They love him.
Yes, honey. Them Black pastors look up. That's their daddy, honey. That's their father. They call them, that's my spiritual daddy. I heard it. I'm like, how's he your spiritual daddy? They have no revelation.
None. Let's look at, I'm gonna pull up this and we're gonna look at this real quickly. Whoops, hold on.
And the Black church never bring up any real issues with Black people, do they? They never talk about black issues.
Mm-mm.
Never. Shoot. Man.
How are you, sir? We'd just like to ask you about why you don't want to fly commercial. Why have you said that you won't fly commercial? You said that it's like getting into a tube with a bunch of demons. Why do you think that?
No, listen to me just a second. Not the people. The main reason is because of the need. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65% of what I'm doing. That's really the main.
Isn't it true that you want to fly commercial so that you can fly in luxury? How much money did you pay for Tyler Perry's Gulfstream jet, for example?
Well, for example, that's really none of your business, but...
Isn't it the business of your donors?
Listen, I paid. You kind of caught me off guard here, okay?
Certainly. Well, if you'd like to come out here, I'd like to give you a chance to catch your breath and have a conversation. We don't want to catch you off guard.
I love Inside Edition. You got to get this now. Hey, you listen to me? My wife thinks Inside Edition is, oh yeah. Now, thank you, Lord. Help me. Let me pray.
Well, let me just ask you a really simple question. A lot of people are becoming for a preacher to live a life of luxury and to fly around in private jets. What's your response to that?
Very simple. It takes a lot of money to do what we do. We have brought over 100, let's see, the latest figures just came out, 122 million people to the Lord Jesus Christ. Let me give you another example. Last May, I was scheduled for Lagos, Nigeria. That's a long ways. I had a week off and I was scheduled for Peru. And I prayed about it and I thought, I'm not missing that dedication in Jerusalem. Without the airplane that we have that I bought from Tyler Perry, and I didn't pay anywhere. And Tyler's one of the greatest guys. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it.
Well, my question then, okay, all right, but I want to get to the demons because people are very concerned about that comment.
Give me a chance here, Inside Edition. I love your eyes. And here's what happened.
Oh my God.
We flew in 21 days, 70 hours, 40,000 miles, touched 5 continents, and preached face to face personally with 125,000 people.
Do you ever use your private jets to go visit your vacation homes, for example?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Again, getting back to the comment, you said that you don't like to fly commercial because you don't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Look at this.
We wrestle not.
I mean, the devil himself.
You see how he changed up?
Yes.
Back a little bit. When he said, don't you up, and then he smiled. Boy, that's them, ain't it? That's how they do. Look at it. Look at that. Y'all better wake up and see that devil for what it is. And then put a smile to it.
Do you really believe that human beings are demons?
No, I do not. And don't you ever say I did.
Look at it. There go that devil right there.
We wrestle not.
Now watch that. See? Oh, that's not some norm. That's not normal right there.
Can you explain what you meant by that,
That ain't
by
normal.
that term then? Just explain, because it's
Y'all better
really
wake up.
you said you didn't want to get into a tube with a bunch of demons. What did you
He
mean?
didn't show you himself.
Well, let
And we
me ask
still
you.
don't believe it.
I think that people that fly commercial are
If
demons.
you give me a chance to talk, sweetheart, I'll explain this to you. But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have anything to do with people. People, I love
Look at
people.
all that hair on his
Jesus.
hands.
Okay. Them little Neanderthals.
Get pushed in alcohol,
I mean, look at his
Do you think
eyes.
that's
It's just
a
like,
good place
You
for
seen it? Did you see what I
her to go preach
saw?
to
Okay, I know what I saw.
when somebody
And then
in
he
there
just smiled to it, didn't he?
down the
yeah.
mile,
Y'all
if
keep
you
on
just
trusting them
seen that,
demons. Look
see
at
that
him.
on television. I wanted to punch the guy out myself. I can't be doing that while I'm getting
They might
ready.
need to see it again.
You just don't like to be around the sinful people or the hurtful people. Is that what you're saying?
Not the people, baby. Not the people. Back during the days that we
He just
could.
laughed. Look at him.
When I went to Oral Roberts University, I flew for Oral Roberts. I'm a commercial pilot. So I spent a lot of time in airplanes.
You have how many planes?
We have the Gulfstream, and we still have our Citation team. And then we have a little small airplane, but both those are the two ones that we use, and we use them all the time. And other people use them too. We have other ministries that use these. In the book of Ephesians,
Oh God, please don't give me a scripture to
we
justify your
wrestle
wrong.
not with people, but with principalities and powers, unseen things, rulers of the darkness of this world. Talking about the devil, he's a very real devil.
I'm
Just the
looking
same
at
as
one.
Jesus
You
is
are the
a very
devil.
real.
I'm looking at him right now. I'm looking at him right now.
And I spent a lot of time on airlines. But the main thing that happened was not, that wasn't the main reason. The main reason was I could no longer do what I called to do and be on the airlines. Besides that, I need my clothes when I get there.
And you have some fancy clothes. I mean,
do.
for a pastor, you are living a life of luxury.
Yes, I
You've
am.
got great homes, you've got great
Yes,
planes,
I do.
you drive in limos,
I'm a
and
very wealthy man.
Ain't that
very
something?
wealthy. And some
And
people
I
would
might-
say
I
that
might
is it appreciate?
May I add something to that? My wealth doesn't come from offerings alone.
What you do? Okay.
You sell things, books and DVDs.
Yes. And I have a lot of natural gas on our property. Didn't know that, did you, babe?
Now I do.
Yeah, you do. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, I guess it's wonderful for you.
Back when, and I might add another thing too. We invest from, let's see, I don't know the exact number on last year yet, but it will run something in the neighborhood of 20, 25 million in the pool. Can't do that and be broke.
So final question is, a lot of people maybe have a misunderstanding then about what you do in prosperity preaching. So the final question is this: to those critics that say that a preacher should not be living a life of luxury, what is your response to that?
They're wrong.
That's it?
That it's a misunderstanding of the Bible that if you go into the old covenant,
He
do
gonna
you
justify his millions.
believe you should be broke?
Are you
See
saying
that devil smile again?
people appreciate money more than real?
They believe in wealth.
Some people would find that offensive.
No, wait a minute now. I'm not talking about some people. I'm talking about the Bible. The blessing of Abraham. Abraham was extremely wealthy, and he had a covenant with God. It's not the Jewish blessing, it's the Abrahamic blessing. God, I get excited talking about it because I love it. And I started out deep in debt with nothing, which is another story. But anyway.
So you say that it's biblical and that there's a foundation in the Bible for this.
Let me close it with this. I had to learn this, like I said, from the Bible and from my spiritual mentor, Oral Roberts. And I learned it from him, working with him, and then he was close friends until he died. And he took the same heat for believing God would prosper you that I've taken over the years. And Abraham was a very, very wealthy man. Galatians chapter 3. If you belong to Christ, then are you Abraham's seed and heirs according to his promise. And his promise was great wealth.
The Bible also says that it's more difficult for a rich man to get into heaven than it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle, correct?
The rest of the scripture. But he said, all things are possible with God. And he said, if you study the Greek behind that, it's trusting in wealth. When he said that, his disciples said they were astonished out of measure because they were wealthy men. They were astonished out of measure, saying, how can anyone be saved? He said, all things are possible.
Both of my grandfathers were preachers. They were both very poor. They lived simple, modest lives. They were extremely offended by men that made money like you do, preaching like you do. What would your response be to people that think that preachers shouldn't live this kind of a lifestyle? Folks like both my grandfathers.
And I understand that. And I love them with all my heart. It's your grandfathers that we're standing on their shoulders. They held up and they stood for it. Glory to God. But when you go back to the Bible, it's full of wealth. And it's full of miracles and signs and wonders. And it's full of goodness. And it's full of meanness. It's just full of hell.
Look at it.
Not the people.
Let's see it come up every now and then, don't it?
Again, getting back to the... Sir, thank you so much for your time
What's your
today. Lisa Guerrero.
Lisa, God bless, Father bless Lisa.
Oh, God, please snatch your hand from him.
Thank you for giving me.
Oh, look at that devil right there. All that gorilla looking Neanderthal.
I believe
Look at him.
will be
He needs to be ashamed of himself.
It's like, how in the world
Oh,
are they going to teach us about God?
they can't. Them demons can't. They have no revelation. They're not supposed to be teaching you. And you got more black folks sitting up under them than you do our black pastors. I remember years back. This was, when I was in church and stuff. This was a while back, and I had I'm telling you, this guy was something else, right? So we would have white folk come. This one lady and her husband came, and she said we can't. Her husband said we can't sit up under you because he was black. He said we love the message. He said this, and we could not. He said we just can't do it. He loved your message, but we can't do it. They would never. You don't ever see white folks too many, right? Sitting up under black pastors, do you? You'll see the black folks sitting up under them, but you don't see them black. You don't even see them white pastors sitting up under no black. Just like he said, his mentor was a white man.
Exactly.
That's just like him. That molded him into being who he is today. Okay. Exactly. And then now Creflo Dollar and all of them hang up under him also. They call that's their spiritual dad. Now make it make sense. They still did get he didn't put them over him, did he?
No.
But they did.
Wow. And I want to read what Maya said. It said, with natural rights on his property, he should not ask his followers for a dime.
Exactly.
Their tithes and offerings paid for it anyway.
That's right. Paid for that land. You think he didn't know it was land? You think he didn't know it was some oil on that land? You think he didn't know that? I'd have bought it too. You think he didn't know that? Man. We done lost our mind.
Exactly.
Then you got the church talking about Christmas and Halloween. Have you seen the churches when they have Halloween parties?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I even seen the church. It was a church right down the street from me, and they used to put the witches on the lot, the church grounds. And I was like, I want to stop so bad up in there and ask him. I want to stop so many times. I want to stop up in there. I said, Lord, he be the call the police. Oh, let me leave the man alone. But I was just wanting to know, why do you have witches and goblins on the grounds?
Right.
People not understanding this. That's the root of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you really did your homework, like so many Black folk have, and that's why they're leaving the church, you'll really understand the pinnacle and all of what it stands for. People don't understand what the pinnacle, they don't have a clue.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have a clue.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You know, I actually had a conversation with a Black person that shared with me a person's YouTube channel that claimed to be a witch. And they was like, you know, she's a witch and she do tarot readings and all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, so why are you sending it to me? Because I'm not into that. I don't believe in that. And they were like, but this is a real witch, and I want you to see her power that she can do. So I go over there and I turn on the channel and look at it and listening to her talk and all this BS. And so, you know, I'm like, well, okay. Well, if a witch is real, you know, like, you know, we had the TV show Bewitched when we were coming up, and you know, she with her nose and shit appear and reappear and all that. I say, if witches are real, then when they were burning witches at the stake, why they didn't just you know, magic spell and poof, get off the stake, or poof, put the fire on their ass so they can burn? I said, evidently, if they are real witches, but they couldn't witch their ass off that stake when them crackers was burning them the fuck up, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna believe your ass a goddamn. If you want to prove to me you a witch, get rid of all these crackers then. Do your nose like that. Let's see your power. Let's see it. I got the power of the ancestors. Because when we were in Africa and we were doing our magic, I say, well, wait a minute. Well, if they had it in Africa and the witch doctor, so-called, was having power,
why didn't they stop
come and do all of this to our people, and their power didn't have no effect on them?
Nope.
Then I don't need your punk ass shit. I don't want it. Because it don't affect the enemy. It don't change my circumstance. I don't need it.
That's right.
I don't need it. And it's like we get caught up. It's like, I said, dude, you a grown man.
Yeah.
And you gonna tell me you believe in some witchcraft? And I can do and shit just happen. But the witchcraft can only happen to Black folk. It can't touch white people.
Right.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need that.
Well, you know why? Because the witchcraft can't touch his children. It's coming from him. So why would I curse my own children? I'm just saying. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying. He ain't gonna curse his own children now. Because those are who his seeds are. That's what God called them, serpent people. So why do we think we get, you know? So why would I hurt my own?
Exactly.
Okay. So
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
I said we better get ready to whoop their asses.
You
just
ain't
that
lying.
simple.
You're gonna need it, honey. I'm telling you, Trump, get back up in there. Y'all asses better have some meat blowers, because I'm telling you what, y'all ass is gonna be in trouble, because he'd already told y'all he gonna bring the police back up in here and he gonna back the blue 300%. He said he gonna do some stuff federally. Y'all asses keep playing with this thing. Keep running over to them white folk. Yeah, keep on. Y'all ass is gonna be in the cotton fields. I'm telling you.
And remember when Trump was president, he said, look, he said, this is what I got. He says, for African Americans, I got tax cuts. Well, you Black people, we're gonna deal with you. Now, anybody listening should have understood that nigga that shot off a message in the air to say, I'm coming for you niggas.
That's right.
Y'all don't want to be African American. Y'all don't want to bow down and do what the fuck we say. We coming to fuck you up.
That's right. That's what he said.
That's exactly what he said.
What are people not understanding? That's why he told y'all. He said, I'm going to back them. Now, I don't know if it's still going to be true, because they didn't got on his behind. And then he said, defund them, right?
Right.
when they treated him like that, you know, when they tried to treat him like niggas, right?
Exactly.
So now he wanted to fund them. So I'm like, I'm just waiting to see, okay, what you gonna do? Because I'm just saying, black folk running to Trump like, woo, piece of gold now. Okay. You were scared of him before. So now y'all dumb enough to run back to him instead of creating your own liberation.
Exactly.
What's wrong with us creating our own political party so that we can shut some shit down? Why are we still looking for white folk who have never, and if they've done anything for us, please help me, show me, tell me so I can look it up. Give me something to research because I love research. Help me to understand. Name one thing the Democratic Party has ever done for black people. The Dixiecrats. That's who they were. Look up the Dixiecrats. These little bastards were the ones that created slavery. They backed slavery. Black folk had the most trouble from the Democrats. And your ass is voting for them demons every 4 years. Will fight me. You'll fight me and tell me my ancestors died for me to vote. Them dummies, they didn't die for you to vote for white supremacy to sit on top of you. Folk that don't even like you, they died for your freedom, dummies. There's a difference. Black Wall Street wasn't built by you voting. How do we get you to understand that? You only got free. They only got free because they freed themselves. They built it. And they just didn't have the security around it or the police force around it. If you're going to build Black Wall Street, you should have had police officers around it, security around it, your own black force protecting it. You don't build something, leave it wide open. Come on, are we that dumb? You don't do that. You have some help. You have security. You have your own that has a black heart guarding what you build. 24 hours security surveillance. 24 hours. You come on this land, we're going to chop it. We're going to chop it up. Come on over here if you want to. Just like the Deacons of Defense. Y'all ever watch that movie? You need to pull it up. You need to watch Deacons of Defense. If y'all don't understand how to do it, you better start watching some Deacons of Defense. It was one brother. Everybody was going against him, but it grew, didn't it?
That's
At
right.
the end, them crackers came and them black folks stood. You come on with it. They was ready. They was not afraid to die for freedom, for revolution. It takes bloodshed, y'all. You can't be free without it. Nothing. These crackers don't give you nothing unless you're willing to fight and take it. Before the Civil Rights Bill, black folk was burning America down. Do your history? They was burning it down. And they said, we got to do something. We don't have no America. They were nationwide. Black folk were burning it down. And they gave them a civil rights bill and they ain't used it for them yet. They use it for everybody else but you. They'll give you a bill and the minute people say, oh, give us a hate crime. For what? They're not going to use it for you. They're going to use it. Everybody, they're going to get to everybody else but you. Have you not known that yet? You still want them to do something? What in the world? Come on.
Exactly. It's time for us to be able to look at things very critically and understand that we've gotten where we are because of wrong decisions that were made. We have to be able to say this was a wrong decision. It's like one time when I was in Jackson, Tennessee, and I asked a group of elderly, middle-class black folks and one middle-class white woman about integration. All the blacks, now again, these are middle-class blacks who retired as teachers, police, fire people, were pretty much successful. But all of the blacks said, we wish we did not do it. We made a mistake. We should have never integrated. Never integrated. Look at the mess that we are in now. I asked a white person about it. She says, well, I think that, it was good. And then you had some bad parts because you had to deny who you are in order to be who we want you to be, in order to be able to roll with us. You had to become what we desire for you to be. You have to become comfortable and safe in our eyes. And she said, that's where I believe y'all lost a little bit at. And, that is something that we got to be able to understand very clearly that was a mistake that should have never happened because they tricked you with integration. They say, oh, come on, you're going to be just like us and everybody going to be even Steven. You ain't going to have no problems. And it was a damn trick. You got more problems now than you had back then. It was a trick. Sister Cassie, thinking, back then, what could you think that what allowed them to be, put to sleep so that they would accept the trick of integration? What do you think it was that allowed them to go to sleep and accept something that was no good for our people?
For one, here we go with this Christianity stuff, right? You had a whole Martin Luther King, a man that they looked up to. And, black folk back in the day, they believed every word that came out the pastor's mouth, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't believe the black guy who was before Martin Luther King, the black guy. Remember the black guy whose face Martin Luther King took? They couldn't wait to get that nigga after they did it. He was tough, honey. I seen the movie about that man. Woo, that thing. I'm like, I'm loving him. I love me some him. Boy, I was like, he was telling him, wasn't he? Ooh, even black folk put him out the church.
Exactly.
Black folk he was too radical for him. But then here came Martin Luther King. We gonna integrate with everybody. I had a dream. Well, it wasn't a God dream, because if it was a God dream, you'd still be alive. I believe that dream killed him. That dream was a dream that cursed him. And I believe that's why he died. Because God never told him. He didn't give him that dream. And God saw what he was doing to his people, pulling them into a burning furnace. And we've been in that burning furnace ever since. And nobody has the sense to look for the damn exit. Make an exit. All this fire going on. When are we going to come up with an exit? What are we doing still in this building? Why are we still there? Everybody scared to move? Well, let me help you. Let me help you. Let's dig a hole. Let's make one. Come on, y'all. We can do this. If that black woman was right, and all the black folks sitting up there, the only thing they did, they believed in integrate. They didn't go after economics. They didn't go after nothing. But what? Being equal with some people that lied to you and say, "Come on over here, we got you." The worst thing, and them white folks were so glad when black folks said, "We coming." And they said, "We're going to get y'all asses. Come on over here. I got something out there. Come on here. And give me your babies while you're coming." Because they act like they didn't want them to share them schools. But they knew that was the best thing they could do, because we're going to get them children. And look at them wild animals today. Look at them wild kingdoms today. The jail's the same way. You got wild kingdom in the jail. You got wild kingdom in the school. They teaching you how to act when you go to jail. Wild kingdom. Wow, kingdom. Ain't no order in them schools, because if they were any order, your children, your black children, wouldn't be in those schools. If they was teaching your babies really how to be free, you think I'm gonna teach you how to be over me? Are you dummies? What's wrong with you? Idiots? You think I'm gonna actually teach you how to be over me? I'm gonna teach my enemy how to beat me at my own game. Come on, family. Come on, y'all. Come on. We gotta do better. We don't even want to fight. We don't even think about fighting. If you got somebody to think about fighting, woo, I'm going to tell. Woo, we can't do that. Woo, Master said we can't do that. We can't do that. Oh, we can't. Well, you know what? You sit there and die. Well, we're gonna die. We're dying anyway, babe. Haven't you looked around? They killing you every day. If they get three a day, one a day, that's 365 of our babies. One a day. They getting several a day. And y'all still not ready to fight. Why you can?
That the name of the brother was Vernon Johns. That
yes.
was before Martin Luther King, Vernon Johns.
Oh, that brother was something, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
We need another Vernon. They were kicking Vernon. They said we can't do. They hate to see him come.
Exactly.
That was fire right there.
Exactly.
That Vernon was some fire, honey.
Definitely. Maya put in the chat spookism, and I want to talk a little bit about that. Sister Cassie, how would you define spookism? What would be that for you. And Maya, if you could drop that in the comments, what you think or how you define spookism, because I want to talk about that a little bit too.
Now, to me, spooky, something that's really that's scary, something that's not real. It's so scary that we can't even think about it because I'm so scared. I'm afraid of anything that's related to being free. That's what it reminds me of, spookism. That's spooky to them. For us to even talk about freedom, for us to be thinking about being free, for us to even think about being separated from them. Oh my God, they're going to kill us. Well, you're dying anyway. You may as well die for being free. You may as well die being free or trying to be free because you're dying anyway for doing nothing. You're sitting up there dying for absolutely nothing. So we're going to die. Let's die for freedom. That's what I see when you talk about spookism. Scary. Oh, it's too scary. I can't even think about it. Oh my God, I can't even let my mind go there.
Right.
That's what I hear when you use that word.
And also I want to welcome Brother Bakari to the program. Peace and blessings, Brother Bakari. Welcome. And another thing that I think about with it too is this a mystery God. You know, where I'm just gonna pray and Jesus is gonna drop bread down on my table. I ain't got to get up and do nothing. I'm gonna pray it away. I'm gonna pray that he gonna fill my table with this and that and that. Spookism. You know, the thing is, as Maya said, the belief in myths and fairy tales. Oh my Lord. In myths and fairy tales. And that is something that, you know, again, with these quote unquote holidays that they have, you know, you got the Easter bunny coming and all this foolishness. It's like your mind is so tied up. It's even when you think about Easter and how Jesus supposedly died on the cross. He wasn't even on the cross for 12 hours. Wasn't even on there 12 hours. But if you go to Latin America, every Easter, you got people being crucified. And they stay up there on the cross the same length of time that he was on the cross. And they never die. He didn't get his legs broken, so they didn't get their legs broken. They live. Their hands is bleeding, their feet is bleeding, but they ain't dead. So you ask the Christian, well, if they up there the same time that Jesus was up there, and they never died, how could he have died? And well, you know, some things is just so big that only God can handle. Get the hell out of here.
Now you have to understand. Let's talk about the real way he died. Okay, let's go deeper. Died hanging on the tree, right? He said cursed. Okay, I mean we need to read it. He said cursed. Are the ones hanging on trees?
That's
Who's
right.
he hanging on trees?
That's right.
I'm just saying. Come on, you guys. We all know how many times the Catholic Church has twisted and turned that Bible. We know that. We know that. But it's so sad how we don't do our research, that we're still by choice taking over a religion that white folk just gave it to you. Your enemy gave you a religion and you follow it faithfully every day. Faithfully. Why we can't get into understand about our ancestors' worship. I don't understand it, but why we don't do research on that to find out truth. What were we and who were we before we knew Christianity? What did we do? What kind of religion did we do before we were forced or killed? And a lot of the adults were murdered and the children were taught Christianity. Those adults wouldn't do it. They said, we're not doing that. And they murdered a lot of the adults when they took them in, into the, people don't even understand this whole slave thing. How a lot of those children came over here. They didn't bring a whole lot of the adults, some men, but a lot. It's hard to force a man to do. You know what I'm saying? Those African, they were proud. They were proud. Remember Kunta Kinte? He ran away. You had to cut off his toes, and then you beat him half to death before he got, and then he still never forgot, right?
Mhm.
So you could take a child just like they do it now. You could take a child, put him in a dress, and he'll think he belongs in one man. Okay, little boys, what they doing now? And then you can tell the girls, you want to suppress their femininity, okay, by giving them some drugs, and we're going along with this. You understand? This is some crazy stuff. I ain't never seen, and parents are so okay with it. You got a whole gay teacher as your son's teacher. He's looking up to this, and black folk are okay. In Chicago, there's one school, half of the teachers are homosexuals, LGBT. What? It's in Chicago. It's a school in Chicago. My girlfriend was telling me about it. Half of the teachers are LGBT, and it's a mostly black school. So make it make sense. But if I can get your children's minds, I can change a whole generation. And that's what it's all about, genociding of black people. Why do you think they fight so hard to get this in Africa? Genocide, because they say Africa is one of the youngest continents. Everybody else, right. Italy, France, they old folk, they died off. They ain't gonna have nobody in their little countries. But Africa, they see is the youngest continent, the youngest. How many under age of 25? You have to understand the bigger picture. We got to stop them niggas from growing. That's what you're thinking. We got to stop them from growing. We got to stop them from having babies. Because you can look at Africans. We have no problem having babies. We used to have, my grandma had 13 of them jokers, okay? And other folks, 9, 10, they had some babies back in the day. And now they done got you so busy, you can't have babies. You only say, oh, I'm having 2. That's all, I'm having 1. But we have to understand the bigger picture is the genocide black people. Why you think we see the men, the black men, white women, and the white men, the black, why we think we see all of that? Why you think before their women was a no-no, now it's open season. Hey, go get one. And we run into the field of the mines and getting blown up as we go. Well, it ain't gonna happen to me because I'm gonna die. And then you get one too. Then your leg come off. And you still go take the other leg and hop to another one. Come on now. Exactly. Come on, family. That's my mic. It's crazy.
I want to look at this. I'm going to go to another video because most people think, whoops, hold on, I hit the wrong thing. Most people think that you only have racism in police departments, that it doesn't exist in the fire department.
Everywhere
it doesn't exist in the mayor's office. It doesn't exist at the library. It doesn't exist at the corner officer, at the hospital. It doesn't exist
everywhere they are.
But it's everywhere. Yes, everywhere. We are surrounded.
Everywhere. You look, the whole system is set up against your demise, black man, black woman. The whole system. That's the scary part.
Yes. Yes. So let's take a look at this, and we're going to come back and talk about it.
Never did. But the firefighters, they weren't fired for manipulating an official document, lying about their duty and oath to protect and rescue. Let's put up the picture of the family, okay? You see the 2 black children? They're dead. They're dead. The firefighters, 2 of them lied on the same report and said, oh, we did everything we could. We went inside, we did a sweep of the apartment. They did nothing, not a damn thing. Guess what? They are being protected, but I'm going to expose every single one of them. Keep that picture up. You're looking at Crystal Cooper. She's in the center. She's grieving the loss of her 2 sons, Ziara Mitchell and Lamar Mitchell, 12 and 9 respectively, dead. A Michigan mother is now demanding answers and accountability after 2 firefighters gave an all clear. Now that's important to note. All clear means nobody else should come here to help. They gave an all clear during a house fire that left both of her sons dead. Flint is where this happened. Flint Fire Chief Raymond Barton found that Sergeant Daniel Snagoki and Michael Zlotek completed false reports about what occurred on that Memorial Day weekend fire. He said it. He said, yeah, these guys lied. He did something else. They claimed to have searched for the children on the second floor, where the bodies of both of them, the 12-year-old and 9-year-old, were discovered by 2 other firefighters 6 minutes later. Now, keep in mind the variables so far. The fire chief says, yeah, they lied on an official report. What is that? That's violation of oath of office. That is a crime. That's a criminal act. You can actually be charged with a felony. 2 other firefighters ended up finding the dead bodies a crucial 6 minutes afterwards, after those firefighters, initial ones, lied. There's more. The chief recommended that the 2 lying firefighters, who happened to be white, be fired. He said they got to go. But one was allowed to resign because somebody decided to override the chief. And the other was suspended for 2 weeks and received additional search and rescue training before returning to the job because somebody decided to override that decision by the chief as well. Now, the person who decided to override this wanted to remain top secret. But I got the goods, and we're going to expose the individual who did it. There's more. Let's put up a picture of Miss Crystal Cooper, who was speaking at the Flint City Council meeting. This was on October 19th. She was speaking because she said there's something foul here. The child's mother, both of the children's mother, Crystal Cooper, took her fight of justice to the Flint City Council. Cooper said she wants the firefighters who neglected to search for her sons to face criminal charges, and that is exactly what we want as well. They were later carried out of the home by 2 black firefighters who took the time to actually do a search. Both of the children died days later after being airlifted to Detroit Children's Hospital. They committed a crime. For them to say they searched the house and they really didn't search the house, for them to be suspended with pay, they weren't dealt with properly, according to the mother when she addressed City Council. Ms. Cooper, I agree with you 100%. Zaire and Lamar were in the home when the fire started on May 28th. I'm taking you back to the historical element. The boys were spending the weekend with their father. A witness reported seeing smoke billowing from the side of the residential structure, and there was possible entrapment, according to a 911 audio obtained by ABC 12. According to accounts at the City Council meeting, someone reportedly walked into the fire station where the smoke from the house could be seen about 200 feet away. Firefighters made the first call. So the 2 firefighters, Snagoki and Zlotek, were the first ones to respond. When they responded, what did they do? They decided to call off any other rescue efforts. They literally told people, we do not need any additional help. We have swept this place. It is clean. Everybody can move on with their lives. That's what they did. That's extreme. After performing the initial sweep of the home, they wrote in their reports that they entered the doorway of the bedroom where the children were found and used a thermal imaging camera to scan the room, and the results were negative. However, the firefighter whose team found the children after moving an air conditioning vent told the chief there was no way possible they entered the bedroom where the victims were found and missed them. No way possible that happened. The first child was found to the immediate left of the entrance of the room, and the other one was on the bed. In other words, if the firefighters would have simply walked into the room, if they would have simply walked into the room, they would have found them. Those children would possibly be alive right now, today. They did not get fired. They did not get charged. And one is still working. Barton wrote in the department's final investigative report that both of these firefighters, and I quote, knowingly made false reports in their incident write-ups. Just hard stop there. Knowingly made false reports in their investigative write-up. Felony. That's a felony charge. What else are we talking about at this point? Knowingly made false statements on an actual investigative document, violation of oath of office. You go to jail. They didn't. Their actions or inactions arise to disobedience according to FFD rules and regulations. And as such, their actions have impeded, injured, and hindered the progress, welfare, efficiency, and good name of the department. Now remember, this is the chief. The chief is giving you all the goods you need to effect an arrest. The chief of the fire department is not able to arrest. They can investigate, they can make a decision, make a conclusion, they can forward it even to a prosecutor, but he cannot arrest. So he said everything on the record to make sure everybody was very clear about what he believed happened here. Who's protecting him? Put up his picture.
What?
You see this fella? He's the mayor.
Oh my God.
Sheldon Neely is the one protecting him. And I don't give a damn what your office say. You're the one who decided to override the decision because based on your own city charter, you're the only one that can override a decision by the city manager. Now you can play like we're boo-boo the fool if you want to. Some Flint council members and community members also believe that the mayor that you're looking at, Sheldon Neely, overrode the chief's recommendation to terminate the firefighters, and that he has also conspired with the city attorney to keep his involvement secret. There's another man named Eric Mays, a city councilman who has called out the mayor specifically. Now, Eric Mays, he's not one to toy with. He's a real one. Some people do not like his style. I happen to love it.
Yes, I love me some Eric Mays.
Council members drilled Flint Human Resources Director Eddie Smith about why the city did not terminate the firefighters. What did Smith say? Smith told the council that the final decision was made before the personnel files made it to his desk. What? The final decision was made before the personnel files hit his desk. Who has the power to do that? Only the mayor does. Nobody else. There's more. Councilman Eric Mays, the man you just saw, said the mayor was the only one who could have given the order. Community activist Arthur Woodson claims the mayor tried to keep the incident under wraps until after the election season. Cooper said an attorney she hired to help with the incident, a supporter of the mayor, asked her to do the same thing. She hires counsel to represent the best interest for her deceased children and getting justice for their deaths. The counsel, the attorney, who's a supporter of the mayor, says, let's just play politics right now. Let's do what the mayor is suggesting through his actions. Now, I bring up Eric Mays, the city councilman, because I know he will see this segment. Dear brother, you have fought vigorously for your community. You have got in the face, literally, of constituents. Hell, they even locked you up a few times. These children should be alive today. Your mayor's already gone. He'll sell out. There's no hope for him. Eric Mays is the same man who did this at one council meeting a few years ago. Here it is.
I want this sent to the police. You ain't cracking me across my head. Well, you ain't gonna threaten nobody in no public meeting because your man don't want to answer an easy question. I'm gonna make a promise to you. You're not gonna interrupt this meeting threatening no elected official with no physical violence. I don't care what kind of suit you wear.
Councilman Mays.
I don't care what kind of suit you wear.
Councilman
You
Mays,
way out
I'm
of order.
asking you
And
to
you're
calm
making
down.
your client look bad.
Okay? I need
I love him.
the same spirit, Councilman, as you continue to advocate for this family and expose the corruption that you know has already taken place. While some may disagree with this style, brother, I actually appreciate the fact you're not afraid to confront power. Check it when necessary. Mr. Neely said it would be political suicide if he let out that 2 young black boys were in this house and it was 2 white firefighters that gave an all clear. And those young boys were in that house for 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Woodson said. Councilwoman Tanya Burns claims, and I quote, the mayor and his people went after the boys' family on social media because the home did not have smoke detectors. Think about this. Instead of holding the public officials, the firefighters, accountable, they decided to protect them and go after the grieving family because there was no operating fire detector. Flint council members have now voted unanimously to launch an independent investigation into the fire and the lack of disciplinary actions against these firefighters. There you have it. All right, we're going to continue to follow the story, bring you updates as they come. Trey, what are your thoughts here?
I mean, I'm not going to make fun of this or anything. You know, those 2 little boys are right around the same age as my 2 sons. I can't imagine anything worse or more tragic. It's very sad. I guess the main thing that I thought when reading about this was like, oh man, not the fire department too now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's always,
Yep.
it's always something new with a different police department every week. And you sort of like, I know they have a big like rivalry, but the cops and the firefighters are on 2 sides of the same coin. They both work for the city, serve the public. And you have not typically seen many songs like F the fire department, or if you saw a fire department hat or a bumper sticker on, you wouldn't think to yourself, well, I've got to avoid that guy at a party. You know what I mean? Like we haven't had the same sort of association with the fire department. And then seeing this, I was like, please don't let that start happening too. Like I can't have, you know, just the general public trust in the institution of the, you know, public fire department also start to erode in the current society that we live in. You know what I mean? Like I hope this is just an isolated incident because I ain't trying to see the fire department go the way of the cops.
Well, we'll see. We've had multiple stories here where fire department officials were involved in just as much egregious activity as some police officers. Definitely not as extreme as far as.
Well, I'm sure it's just as extreme. I guarantee you it is. They just burn theirs and they murder theirs and nobody knows. They would have gotten away with that if those 2 black firefighters hadn't went into it because they know them. That's why would they check behind them if they didn't know who they were? Because they already knew who they were. But my thing is, do unto others, mayor, show up summer. I'm just saying it's time for black people to start handling these coons.
That's right.
Remember the movie I showed you? I sent you?
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start holding these coons accountable.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was, I'm telling you, that movie was off the chain.
Most definitely.
We have to start holding these coons accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to tell the mama to ignore it? You're going to tell me to ignore my babies because your mayor want another term. I hope that mayor don't get another term at nothing.
Exactly.
For one, they need to hold him accountable. Black folk need to show up.
Exactly. You know, I'm of the belief, I mean, those 2 innocent babies, and knowing that those 2 crackers, because they say more firefighters was on their way and they called and said, it's all clear. Right. You don't need to show up.
Ain't that something? And they would have got away with it. How often have they done that? Not just them, but firefighters and paramedics. Just like seeing 2 paramedics that gave that boy Dramamine, the horse tranquilizer, right? Oh, I guarantee you they've been doing that for quite some time. They just have not gotten caught. But Most High is pulling the covers off them demons right now. Everything, every area that they have impacted, he is pulling the covers off. Just like that guy, the white guy, just said, "Oh, not them. Yes, them." And all of the other entities. If we would investigate, the FBI has already told you that the police department has been infiltrated. You think the fire departments, the judges' chambers, the DAs, the police department, the doctor's offices,
That's right.
you think they ain't building up some
That's
black
right.
babies? Shoot. Y'all better wake up, black folk. God didn't call them serpent people for no reason. They literally walked in that room and seen them babies and turn around. Who in the world could do that? Who has a heart? Who has a heart to do that? These are babies. These are demons who did that. Those are not real people. Those are Satan's seeds, people. He called them serpent people. I'm keep saying that.
That's right.
Those are not humans. They know who we are. You think they don't know who we are, people? Do you think they don't know? They know. That's why they're killing as many as they can, but they can't get rid of us because we reproduce like roaches. Exactly. You look around, they go some more. You can't get rid of us. We have babies like rabbits. You can't get rid of black folk.
No.
Globally, four corners, there we are. And they've been trying to kill us for how long and can't. And they never will.
You know, and the white guy on the show, if we listened, you know, he was laughing. You know, oh, I can't believe this. You know, like, what the? Ain't nothing funny. Nothing. You know, and he's fucking laughing, and because
he's part of them. Those are his brothers. They're all connected. Ain't one good. Not one. Not one. And he just showed you. They're all Satan's seeds. All of them. I'm so sick of, I don't know what to do. I told you I need my own outing. I'm sick of them coons. And I'm so sick of them. Oh, I'm so sick of them. I don't know what to do. Them coons, they are the worst. You are covering up. Who's paying the mirror to do that?
Exactly.
Because usually the police department, the fire department is backing the mayor. Who backed him? Did the police department and the fire department back him? I guarantee you they did when he was running. So now he got to cover them because they gave you some money to run, right? Fannie Mae in Georgia, they backed her. She's the same way. Exactly. She got to do that dirt because they covered her. They produced her. They paid for her to win. Shoot, there ain't no way in the world I'm answering them devils.
Never. And you know, our people have to get this in their minds and understand that they don't wish for us for nothing but death.
Yes,
that's what they want for us. Death. Everything they've developed around us is for our demise. You put weave in your hair, they got some kind of chemical attached to it. Your toothpaste got fluoride in it. Water got fluoride in it. You ain't supposed to be touching fluoride, but you drinking it with your mouthwash, toothpaste, water. How in the world is fluoride in our water? You can't even touch it with your hands. You have to have a whole suit on. How are they putting it in your water? You drinking it? Think, family. Think. Shoot. I'm sick of them. That's all you know, and you know,
I pray. My prayer is that every person that has a hand in a black person's death, not only will they suffer, but I want their whole lineage to suffer. The whole generation for 1,000 generations. That's my prayer for them. They don't get no peace. No peace. And it passes down from generation to generation, that punishment. Not only do they pay for it, but their generations, their lineages pay for what your grandpa did for thousands of generations. And then they'll do some research, say, oh, grandpa did that. That's why we can't get no peace. You'll never get no peace. Every time you touch one of us, it falls on not just you, but your lineage. That's my prayer. And that should be all of our prayers for them.
That's right. That is correct.
Trust me, I pray it every day. Trust me. I really do.
And we have to be able to see them as they are. for what they are. Because if you don't get it, then you'll always be stuck in a cycle of death.
Yep.
You'll be stuck in that cycle of death because you don't want to disengage. You don't want to separate from them. You don't want to separate from them.
I'm already separated as much as I can. I don't,
Exactly.
as much as I can. I don't have nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Even at work, hey, how you doing? I keep moving.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because that's how it has to be.
It has to be like that. Them devils in the morning, you say good morning. They don't even. They have no. Have you noticed they don't have no mannerisms? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't say thank you. They don't say nothing. No, God bless you. Nothing. They don't say good morning. You say good morning. What's good about it?
Exactly.
Well, I could tell you one thing. If you were dead, that would be even better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you just don't blow my mind. I mean, oh boy. I hate to encounter them. I do. And lady, I'm coming in the store today. Black woman, her little grandson thought they were gonna get in the door before me. I couldn't wait to move that one. Girl, I couldn't wait to bust through there. And she looked, I kept walking. I didn't even acknowledge her. I didn't even acknowledge her. She thought I was gonna wait on her. You got your people mixed up, honey. I want them to know how much I hate them.
Exactly.
Every chance I get. She couldn't believe it. Oh, she was horrified. You be horrified. That's what I really think of you and your little damnable bastard that you got behind you. Because he gonna grow up to be just like his grandmammy.
Exactly. You know, and I want to go next and talk about our sister Taraji Pete Henson, and where she talks about the pay gap. And me and Doc was talking a little bit about it, I think last Friday or Friday before last. And the more, because I'm studying more of it as I go, and it's really, really interesting. And it's not, because Doc was thinking that, you know, you have one person who's a doctor and another person who's a garbage collector, and that they're talking about, well, I don't get equal pay. But that's not what it is.
That's not it.
It is doctor versus doctor. It is
black versus white. Doctor
Exactly.
White, doctor black, doctor.
Exactly.
You're gonna see a 10,000. I told you, my girlfriend. I talked to her. The guy's white, she black, she got a PhD. This girl is the bomb. And he's making $10,000 more dollars. She's so quiet. I don't want to say nothing. Shh, it wouldn't be me, honey. Well, I'm glad I found out. I go, you gonna do something? I'm taking y'all asses to court. Seriously.
Exactly.
I'm serious. I'm not gonna be quiet because I don't want to hurt step on no toes. I'm gonna step on all the toes that I can.
Exactly.
Because you found out for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, in every job that I've ever had, once I became an adult, they always said, and of course, you do not discuss your pay with nobody.
And for a reason.
Exactly. And so, you know, when I watched Taraji, and you know, it struck me because, of course, you know, you think you're an actress, you know, and you making money and you doing this A, B, C, D, and E, but when she broke it down to what actually she makes, it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. But you know, this is the price of being black in a white environment, in a white controlled world. You're not going to get what you're due. They're not going to pay you what you're due. And so we have to understand that even you're an actor, you're an actress, you're a stunt person, you this, you that, you got to come out of it and build your own. Build your own Hollywood, build your own movies and videos, and build your own so you can get what you're rightfully due, because they're never going to give it.
Let me ask you a question. Why have we not done that? The NFL, the basketball players, they make enough money. They could have had their own league by now. Africa's waiting on a league. Why don't you go there and create one? This is what I'm saying. There is opportunity out there. And nobody will take them up on it. You've been working up under them. Use them. You're supposed to use them to build where you need to go. You use them as a stepping stone. You don't sit up there and take that abuse, just like I talk to these doctors and nurses, how these doctors and nurses are treated in these white facilities. You have a whole degree. Pull your monies together. Bring your what you call it, your certificate or your diplomas together and build.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you? Why aren't we doing that? Why do we think we have to sit there and take their toxicity?
Exactly.
We don't have to do that.
Exactly.
But everybody's scared to separate. Why? What you think you're gonna miss?
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, if you separate, yours will be better than theirs. I guarantee you it. But you're gonna have to arm up. You're gonna have to arm up if you do that, in order to protect and have a total separate government, total separate laws, total separate everything, because they coming.
That's
and we're
right.
gonna be waiting for their asses.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And that's what we got to know and understand. We're going to look at this next video really quick.
Hollywood, look at your life. Stop trying to pretend that you are diverse and happening and hip when you don't do right by these supremely talented artists. My God, Taraji P. Henson is so talented and versatile. Longevity, she's just so gifted. She's breaking down in tears over pay disparity. Tears.
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. Mm-hmm. I hear people go, you work a lot. Yeah. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. Mm-hmm. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. Mm-hmm. Big bills come with what we do. Yes. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up is a whole entire team behind us. Yes. They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, oh, such and such made $10 million, no, that's not, that didn't make it to their account. Know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%. That's right. Okay? So do the math. Now we have 5 million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you gross, not more. After what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I get that.
It wears on you, you know? Because what does that mean? What is that telling me?
What is it telling me? Yeah. And what does it tell me? Yeah.
You know? And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the f am I doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I feel for her. You want to work hard and spend your whole career trying to reach a certain level, well, you've earned the right to be there. And guess what? You know how that work is recognized? Fans, praise, and the American way, money. If it's not money, then nobody should get paid well, okay? Taraji P. Henson mentioned this previously in a talk with Jamel Hill.
You talked about the Benjamin Buttons experience that you had, finding out that you were making, 2% of what Brad Pitt was making. And you had to pay for your own travel, right? Or your own accommodations once you were there shooting in New Orleans, correct?
Let me tell you how it works. So they give you an allowance, right? They give you an allowance to find yourself somewhere to live. At the time, I didn't have a team to do all of that for me. You know, now I have a team. I don't have to deal with that. They make sure I get where I want to live, blah, blah, blah. But at the time, I wasn't where I am today. And so they gave me money to look for a place to live, but you got to remember they only paid me $150,000. Now let me break this down for you, because I remember people, well, $150, that's a lot of money. Let me break it down. 150 taxed is 50% of that. Okay, so 150, 50% of that is what, 75?
Yep.
And then I got to pay another 30% of that to my team. So then what's left? The next thing I have to pay is for my son's school at the time, which was $30,000. So you see, that was not enough money to last me throughout the year. I didn't get the whole $150,000 like you think up front. That was what I got. After taxes is not $150,000. And so when it came time for me to do the math, I was like, do I take this whatever money they gave me for my allowance to find somewhere to live and live lavishly in New Orleans, or do I pocket that money because I need it and I'm gonna go live in the damn embassy suites for these 3 months or whatever, you know? And because I'm the type of artist I am, I had to swallow my pride. I really had to swallow my pride because that is such an injustice. And all we were asking for was $500,000. That's all we were asking for.
Yeah. The math ain't mapping. The math ain't mathin'. Okay. And I don't know what Brad Pitt knew or didn't, but when you are likely at a stature in Hollywood as a white male leading man for years and years, decades, I've heard about this thing called the back end. You're getting it, you're involved, you're all kinds of production level credits. I would want to know that the people working with me, who I helped select, I'm sure he helped select the project, and I'm calling him out because I don't know who the director and these other people were. I'm going to make sure she's good, particularly as I see her on set, and I want, where are you staying? I want to make sure she's good. Maybe that happened, maybe it didn't, doesn't sound like it. Because of the pay disparity, this such a lacking. Taraji admitted she almost passed on doing The Color Purple.
Sure. And I'm really getting tired of Black women having the same story. It's breaking my heart. Like 20 plus in the game, it breaks my heart. It's like every time you achieve something really incredible, it's almost like the industry looks at it as a fluke. Like, oh, that was like some one-time thing. So you fall back to the bottom and you gotta negotiate and fight tooth and nail to get what you made the last time. When, where's my raise? I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. Who said what? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Because you know what? If I don't take a stand, how am I making it easy for Fantasia and Danielle and Hallie and Felicia? Then why am I doing this? If it's all just for me, why are you here?
Thank goodness she's speaking out.
Yes.
And she has company. Fran, it's an outspoken, I guess an out secret, if you want to call it, among other Black actresses. Robin Thede would further validate what Henson was talking about. Watch this. Taraji is telling the absolute truth. 70 to 80% of gross income has gone off the top for taxes and commissions, agents, managers, lawyers, and for those who pay other employees as well. Baby, the math ain't mathin', and I know you're like 10 million minus 8 million is still 2 million. Yeah, that's true. Over 10 million is very rare. Most of your fave Black actresses make about $250,000 to $500,000 for starring in movies. So 50 to 100K net, and might only get one project a year. Now they have to pay social media managers because y'all will drag them if they don't have dope content. Stylists, because y'all will drag them if they look busted. Hair, wigs, because y'all will drag them if they look busted, not to mention important, like childcare. Rashi talked about that. She goes on, school for said kids, keeping a roof over their heads somewhere they can feel safe with their family, away from the paparazzi who invade their privacy.
Yes.
I know this life looks glamorous for someone like her, and I know there will be comments like 100,000 is a lot of money. It is, but do the math, all of it. And it's often still living check to check and not creating generational wealth, especially living in Los Angeles, New York, all the while watching non-Black actors get paid way more. This woman is Oscar nominated. Imagine the struggle, 99% of the rest. Maybe folks won't relate, but that's also the issue, being misunderstood and people just assuming they're rich. So next time y'all see an actor working at Trader Joe's, maybe it will be, well, maybe it'll hit different. Taraji and Thede joint actresses like Monique, whom have long been vocal on the pay disparity of Black actresses for years now. There is this theme, Fran, I'm gonna give you the floor. It's like this overarching thing where they say, you know what? And if they don't say it, you can feel it. You should be happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we work to earn. She loves the work. Clearly, you can't be that good if you don't love the work. She loves it. And she studied and honed her craft. And why should she not get paid for it when someone else who is Caucasian or a man just shows up and expects and then gets tenfold what she's getting?
Yeah. No, and not only that, you know, I mean, the fact is that the things that Taraji has participated in, the franchises, the movies, the money that she's made for the studios is, I mean, let's do that math, right? It's incalculable, right? It goes on and on and on, again, for the streaming and all this. And this is why actors and writers went on strike over the summer. And we will see. I know that, yes, the SAG contracts were, voted on and voted for by the actors. I think everyone wants to get back to work. But now you see, whispers of a Paramount Discovery merger. And so as these mergers continue and the money continues to be made and we pay our hard-earned money into these streaming platforms, it is just like this money is not actually trickling down. And yeah, all the glitz and glamour is not, especially when you are a Black woman in Hollywood. So thank you, Taraji, for speaking out. Yeah. And you're right. She's not seeing the young actresses as her competition. She wants to help them by taking a stand now. So good for her.
Couldn't afford not to be excellent in every project she was in. She made us laugh, cry. She inspires us. She's just incredible. And it would be a shame for her to quit acting. And I believe her when she said she considered it, because if you're making all this great content, but you're not getting a fair share of the pie, maybe you're on strike. Maybe you can't do it anymore. Maybe it's not worth it. Viola Davis tried to tell us that.
Yeah.
Who has better credentials than her? Yep. Wonder why her white counterparts make so much.
In this world, nobody creates space for that. And again, I'm not saying that Black men are exclusive in this regard. Black women.
But didn't Monique try to tell him?
Yeah.
Terrence Howard.
Yep.
I mean, this is something that's going on. So why are Black people accepting this? Tell me why. Nobody has the sense to come together and say, let's do this. They know how, because we got some Black people that's directing. They know how. So why? And all of it's dysfunction, because you got to do some weird stuff anyway. So why would you want to be with them? Why are you giving up your soul to these crackers? To these demons and devils that want you to have sex and do all kind of crazy stuff before you can make it anyway. So why? And then you got your son paying $100,000. You can homeschool him. You can homeschool your child. What school is he in that's costing $100,000? And remember, who was that dude's son that just committed suicide? Probably went to the same $100,000 school. She was Black. Her son committed. Who was she? I can't remember her name. Somebody in the audience tell me that her son just committed suicide. And I wonder, was he going to that same $100,000 school that Taraji sending her son to, being around all them white folk, dysfunctional. You got your child in a dysfunctional atmosphere. Then white kids can take that mess. But why would you pay that much for them to go to school with them? That's money wasted right there. So, yeah, she'll be fine. Do something about it.
Do you think that, because I think that with our athletes and our actresses and all that, with all the wealth that they have combined, but yet they still deal from a beggar's level.
Yes.
It shows that we have a mental problem.
Why are we still begging these folks? You know their dysfunction. And thanks, what's her name? Did I say it right? Regina King. Yep, that's her son. But yes, we always trying to, why we gotta beg them for anything? We're more talented than them. This is mental illness at its finest. Willie Lynch, mental illness at its finest. We don't have faith in us. And then when we try to talk about what's going on, we racist. When we calling them out on their bad behavior, we the racist. No matter what they have done to you, you're the racist. I could be telling you what they said, but I'm racist for calling it out. How? Make it make sense. But we see that all the time. We'll see them in the chat talking. As soon as we say what we say or take it on TikTok, how are you racist? Well, I just called out their behavior. So how am I racist? But this is what we do. Mental illness, I'm telling you, we need some help. We need to get away. I'm telling you, total separation. We can have our own Black live TV instead of telling all them lies and all that homosexual, transgender. I don't even watch TV. I seen somebody the other day. Oh, who was this woman that was pregnant talking about F her baby daddy? What? This is dysfunction to it at another level. She was pregnant. What they call? Come on, y'all family. I know y'all know him. I don't know this one. Somebody Red. Dirty. Somebody Red. I'm gonna say Dirty Red. I don't know what her name is. Nasty Red. What I'm calling her. Whole Red. Because her music was disgusting. And that Cardi B, I'm telling you, why do we tolerate that? We can shut all that out. They can stay over there and do that. But we're gonna have our own live Black TV. The truth. The real Black movies that's going to uplift. We can start producing our own. Dirty Red. Is that what her? Sexy Red. Okay, Dirty Red, Nasty Red, somebody Red. Yes, Sexy Red. Yes, that's her. Yes. This woman, you used to see the video. I'm gonna send it to you. It's terrible. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I'm just like, Lord, what is going on? We didn't took it to a new level. It's a new level nasty. A new level of disgust for Black women. Singers. It's worse than Cardi B. I already think Cardi B disgusting anyway, but I'm just saying. I want to save Cardi B's music and show it to her daughter when she gets 10. And see, would you be proud? Do you want your daughter hearing this filth?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's disgusting.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's really crazy.
And so, with all that being said, and I believe that we laid out a very good justification for separation. And we also, with this last clip, I believe that we laid out a good reason why you cannot have entertainers as your leaders.
Right.
It just don't work. You can't have a sports figure as your leader. It just doesn't work. We got to grow up and understand the reality of that. We got to understand the reality of that, because that just doesn't work for us. And that doesn't work for us. Peace and blessings, Doc. How you doing, big bro?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
All right. So we're actually about to move to shutting down.
Just keep it flowing, man. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I just wanted to check in.
Yes, sir. And entertainers, athletes, they cannot be our leaders. They don't have what it takes. Their mind, honestly, the way that their mindset is it's like that they're drenched in being a slave, being controlled. As you said, Sister Cassie, you got the NFL, which is majority Black, and they haven't decided, well, shit, we can go and, have our own NFL. We have our own football league. We can buy our own teams. We can do this, we can do that. But instead of doing these things, you accept abuse. You accept abuse. And you think that we're supposed to be happy with it. When ex-President Trump said that their mothers, that's called them their sons of bitches. He just called all of their mothers bitches. And you have a damn thing to say about it. None of them had a damn thing to say about it. You can't keep doing the same old shit expecting to be free. It ain't gonna happen. They understand that keeping you enslaved, keeping you as their nigga is what's going to make their pockets bigger. You got to wake up and understand and see that time is up for that. And Mayat said that Kobe tried it and went down in a helicopter. We got to know that, of course, when we say we're going to be free and we start to take the proper actions to be free, their answer is, I'm going to kill this nigga because this nigga trying to disturb my money. They trying to disturb my plantation. And we got to have a response. See, we are a people that shit happen and we don't have a damn response. We want to go picket. We want to go march. That ain't no fucking response. That ain't going to get you nothing. We have to change the way we think. Because changing the way we think will change the way we act. And you'll see yourself getting freer. But if you don't want to change, if you want to stay the same old dumb nigga that you was 2 hours ago, you want to be that same dumb nigga that you were 2 hours ago, you're going to be good for nothing. We've been on here for 2 hours now. You should understand why separation is the only answer. It is demanded upon you. You better understand that because that's real. Ain't no game, ain't no joke. This is where we at. This is where we at. Doc, you want to come in and say some things?
You know, I'm just glad to see y'all still met. I've been running around with family. I was waiting at 4 o'clock, but something happened there, and so I got pulled away. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here, man. Just wanted to check in.
Yes, sir. Glad you're here, Doc. If you got some other free time during the week, or even tomorrow, if you want to go on, we can.
Look here, bro. I'm on vacation, man. I have nothing but time. You know, time like Culture Club said, time is on my side. You know, time gonna give me time. So whatever you want to do, all you gotta do is hit me up.
Okay.
I'm ready to roll.
All right, perfect. Sister Cassie, what say you? What's your closing?
Hey Doc, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying
I'm good,
family.
sister. I'm good. Yeah. This
Ain't
is
nothing like family, huh?
yeah. This is different. I'm used to living kind of in isolation. My sister got like 9 grandkids, so this is
Woo, boy.
yeah,
You about ready to run home, huh?
and a big dog that y'all saw last time. So
Oh, I hope you're enjoying yourself and your babies, grandbabies, your sister's grandkids, I should say. Well, you know what? I'm hoping that we'll take their frustrations and actually put some things in place. I know my brother Maurice, you out there in Mississippi, hopefully making some changes out there. It just hurts my heart to see that you can have a whole city of like 90% Black people with still white folk on top of them. That's the mental illness that we're dealing with now. That's the sad part about it, that this city can be majority Black. You may have 3% white, and it still got the mayor as a white man that's been there since the beginning of the town, or his family. You know, it's been since his family was there, and they still running it. And nobody ever has set foot to beat them out. That's the sad part about it. But I'm hoping that we'll put some things in place that we can actually start making the change. Buying up land, pulling your monies together and buying land. Or like somebody said, let's go to Mount Value. Let's overrun it. Let's get in there. Mayor.
That's right.
I mean, and I was looking at our brother. What's the one that we were just seeing, the what you call Eric? Okay, I forget his last name. That was the him. Okay, I forget his name, but that dude is always on fire. He be cussing them out and get. We need some Black folk like that. That's not afraid to speak out. Not afraid. They actually need him as their mirror there. And I do believe that if he was in the mayorship, he would make sure that it got done. You know what I'm saying? That not just them being fired, but them pressing charges and doing some time.
Exactly.
Because it's time to see, you know, some changes. Rather it's us showing up with leaf blowers, match. I'm just saying, it's time for us. If our justice system cannot hold them accountable, jungle justice. How else do we do it? That's an act right there. That's
right.
making them act right. To know that you mess with them, the certain ones, the ones that Trump said the black folk, you mess with them, they coming. You mess with their children, they coming. You mess with their property, they coming. That's where we should be with them. That they should know that you mess with the B1s, they coming, them some fools. Don't please leave them alone. Go mess with the African Americans, because they gonna forgive you. But them real folk, them real B1s, that leave them folks alone, because they'll get the whole B1 crew after you. That's what we should see when they come over here. That they should know that now we ain't got time, because that's too much. They ain't gonna just let it go. They ain't gonna just forgive.
No.
They gonna demand our heads, and we're gonna have to give to them, because we was the one that we stepped out there. It's not about when they act like hoodlums and thugs. What are we supposed to do? Hold them accountable, and that's not what we're doing. They killing up, burning up, and you still looking like you crazy. It should have been a 911. You know, another building over there that was on fire. I'm just saying, it should have been another building. Now we grown enough to read between some lines.
Right.
Family, time for us to take care of some things. Stop acting like we crazy up in here, like we scared to breathe. Because as long as you scared to breathe, they gonna keep breathing.
That's
and
right.
you sitting up there holding your breath,
That's
looking
right.
crazy. Like as usual, it was a great one. This is a great topic, and I hope that email person understands. Go back through the video, and tell me where things have changed. Help me to see where things have changed. I'm seeing that. I mean, the more I'm watching them, I'm seeing every entity is covered. There's no place they've not poured in something to be against us. I'm not seeing anywhere. So if they know something, please write me, raminthebush.com. I'm just saying, no, gmail.com. So I can understand, what do you mean? So we had that conversation, because I need some proof. Don't just tell me, but show me where they've done something, where things are different. Because we've just shown you that it's not. That it's even worse than what we actually believed.
That's right.
Because we see it. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Sis Cassie. You know, and just thinking about those two babies burning to death, and the cracker saw them and could have saved
And
them.
walked away.
And walked away.
And walked away.
Them babies didn't deserve that. They didn't deserve that. So, you know, we got to think about that. We got to think about that. Some changes have to be made. They don't have no love for you. They don't have no love for your children. They want us dead, period, point blank. As Sister Cassie pointed out, you know, y'all put this stuff in your hair. Next thing you know, you wind up with cancer. Not understanding that you're dealing with an enemy that wants you dead.
Yes.
You better understand it. You know, we want to welcome Earth Angel Remix 1105. Peace and blessings, Queen. Welcome to the program. We about to check out now. We had closing comments, but you can definitely go back. Yeah. We did 2 hours. Me and Sister Cassie held it down. And so we'll be back, inshallah. We'll be back tomorrow. Get Doc back with us. See Doc in that big old dog he got right there.
He just made a friend. You take him home with your Doc.
They trying to get me to take him home. Tell him, look at how friendly he is.
Go ahead and take him home with you. He keep you on your toes.
Yeah, you definitely would do that.
Definitely. Doc, you want any closing comments?
No, just wanted to check in. I'm actually cooking in between. That's why I keep getting up and running. Because I'm something like a chef. I'm something like a chef, brother.
All right now.
A woman like a man that can cook, Doc.
Yeah, I know. I know. One of my superpowers.
Well, as we always say, definitely, as we always say, you kill the nigga in you, I'm gonna kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black first, today, tomorrow, and forever. Peace. Love you, family. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom.
So you better get the message and get it straight. You're gonna need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.